All right, now we can get started. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us today. This is the town hall for the 2025 version of the Ethereum Protocol Study Group. My name's Josh, and I'm here with Mario. We work with the Ethereum Foundation on the protocol support team, working on a few different initiatives to help support the protocol. Um, yeah, once again, thanks for being here. Uh, we have a short little presentation to give to you, just to give you a little bit of information about what the study group is and how you can participate and what you can expect. And then we'll leave the majority of the time for a Q&A for us to answer any questions you have or comments or anything like that. If you have questions while the presentation is going on, please just go ahead and throw them in the chat, and then we will get to them at the end. Um, if you're seeing the grid right now, there is a little tab that says Josh D's screen that has a very clear what looks like to be a screen share. You'll want to click on that if you would like to look at the presentation. Um, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. All right. So first of all, what is the Ethereum Protocol Studies group? Well, it is a initiative that we started last year to basically give people who are interested in working in core development or having a better understanding of the core Ethereum protocol, a way to have some structured learning around that. Ethereum's core protocol is very vast and resources are very spread out and widespread, and it's can be pretty challenging to know where to start or have a good semblance of where do I go to learn about this specific thing. So we've created a curriculum for people to have some structured learning around um, jumping into knowing more about the core protocol. Um, in addition to that, it is a community resource that we create through this process. So we'll talk a little bit more about this a little bit later in the presentation, but we've created this resource called epf.wiki, which is both a tool for you to continue your learning as well as a resource for community to understand um, some of the more technical details about the core protocol. And then finally, it is this community that is here to support each other in learning, both in these sort of uh, like yearly sessions as well as outside of that. So, who is this program for? Well, the program is for really anybody that's interested in learning about how Ethereum works under the hood, but a little bit more specifically, it is for people who are interested in becoming a core developer, somebody who works on a client team, somebody who is interested in working in the research field for upcoming Ethereum upgrades. And people who are just generally interested in making contributions to Ethereum. Additionally, it can be helpful for app developers who are interested in knowing about how the software works, the things that that their apps run on. Certainly can help them to make more streamlined apps or make specific design decisions. And as Ethereum continues to evolve and upgrade, there are new features that are implemented that can also be effective for people who are developing applications. Um, this program is also somewhat of a precursor to the Ethereum Protocol Fellowship, which, if you don't know what that is, it is a more focused program that we run from June to November that is dedicated towards people who want to take some of this knowledge and start to use it in implementing contributions to Ethereum. So we offer some structure and some guidance in how to start making your way into the world of contributing to Ethereum. So the way that this program is going to work is, so this is the second year that we are running this program. The first year was obviously last year, and over, I think I want to say it was 10 weeks, we put together a curriculum for those 10 weeks that uh, gave you an introduction to a lot of the bits of Ethereum, as well as some deep dives into some specific topics. We have all of that content still, and so we're going to use that content as a way to sort of speed run um, the jump into to this learning process. So um, the program is going to start on next Monday, the 17th of February, and it's going to start with two to 3 weeks of intensive um, daily viewing of this content from last year, so that you can get up to speed. And then during those 2 weeks, we will host a 60 to 90-minute office hours on Discord where, if you're confused about something that's being discussed in the video, you can ask questions. We'll be available on the voice channels if that's something that's necessary. But basically, here to help you to unblock any roadblocks that you're having, explain anything that might be confusing to you, or just better help you understand uh, what's happening in those videos. Those Discord office hours will be at 1500 UTC or 3 p.m. UTC. Uh, and it will be Mario and myself there, as well as potentially some of the students from last year's study group, as well as potentially some of the mentors and teachers that are in those lessons. And then the final 6 weeks are going to be new content. We'll be doing one session per week. It will be a live session that you all will join and um, be able to interact with the researcher or core developer who's giving you the information. These sessions are going to be focused on deep dives into the execution layer and the consensus layer, and then we will have a series of videos about where the state of the art of research is and how that interplays with the Ethereum roadmap. All right, I think I'm going to pass it off to Mario if you would like to take it away.
Sure, thank you so much, Josh. Right, so it was some basic about the schedule and what the program is, and now what to expect from the program, what the program expects from you guys. So first of all, this program, the study group, is highly technical. It's about the actual development part of the Ethereum, about the actual core protocol. So expect some requirement of computer science knowledge, informatics, and this doesn't go very deep. It really depends on where you're coming from, who you're from, and what you're interested in. If you don't have computer science background, you can still attend the study group, you can still learn a lot. You might have harder time diving into some of the topics, but expect that you will have to learn on the side also some new computer science things that you might not be familiar with. We will start from the from easier topics, and it will get progressively more technical. So the first week is there for everyone, but then it might require more time to get up to speed with more examples from the actual code or the specifications and so on. And again, this is all about the actual core protocol of Ethereum, which means the Ethereum platform, the client implementations, the nodes that are running the network, the software that enables Ethereum happen on these thousands of computers in a distributed network. So we talk about this actual network, actually the actual client software, how it's implemented, what is the architecture, what are the different protocols within the clients, and how it's tested, how it's researched, all of these parts about the actual low-level development. So we'll be seeing examples from low-level languages like Go and Java and Rust and so on. It's not, again, this is not focused on Solidity or any app level development, any contracts on Ethereum. We will not talk about contracts at all, only about some parts of the EVM which might change how something on the app layer works. But generally, we talk about the protocol itself. So to set your expectations, what you actually learn in this program and what background you should come here with. Again, even if you're not a developer, even if you are not, if you are haven't studied any sort of informatics, you can still learn a lot, and it's I believe it's still very accessible. However, it is technical, and if you already have some developer computer background, it will be much easier to get up to speed on the Ethereum topics. And so from your side, to be able to follow the study group, we would expect during the first 2-3 weeks, which is the first 2 weeks are the most intense, where we will be following all the curriculum for the last year. What Josh said, so the existing content we will study together as a community. We will hold these office hours, and that I would say requires minimum of 2 hours a day, which is like 60-90 minutes to watch the video. The recordings from last year, these lectures that we have, are 90 minutes. However, you can watch them a bit faster, 1.25, 1.5. Some people speak slowly, so you can just watch it a bit faster. You save some time. So even if you spend like 1 hour on the video and then another hour of studying the extra materials or the wiki or spending it with us at the office hours discussing what you learned. So I would say that at least 2 hours a day in the first 2 weeks to really get up to speed and be able to learn something. Again, if you don't have any Ethereum background, any computer science background, you may need more time to be able to study more to understand all the dependencies, all the extra information you need to get to know. But it's only the first 2 or 3 weeks. The remaining 6 weeks, we will do only 2 sessions a week, which means 2 90-minute sessions, lectures from the core developers, diving deeper into the consensus execution layer, roadmap, what Josh mentioned. And these lectures will be up to 90 minutes. You can do both or just one a week. And again, you can. It's up to you whether you want to study some extra materials. So I would say that then it's only like maybe 3 hours weekly on the lower side, which you should dedicate. But what I want to emphasize here is that it's really up to you guys. This program is completely open. It's here for the Ethereum community. This is a public good. This is a public knowledge. We are like an open university here for anybody learning about Ethereum. And we don't provide any grades. We don't force you to do anything here. So it's really up to you, your self-direction, your self-dedication, what you are willing to do, what you're able to do, how much time you want to spend on this. So if you're willing to do many hours a day, if you have that spare time, if you are so dedicated to Ethereum, you can really spend a lot of time on this. If you do it as on the side of your studies or work or something, you dedicate only a few hours, that's also enough for you. It's really you can kind of tailor the experience by yourself, by how much time and you want to dedicate or what you're interested in. Again, we'll cover different parts of the protocol, many different topics, so you can also choose sort of the topics that you're interested in. Regarding the schedule, if you head to the EPF Wiki intro, we have the link there later. You can see the schedule for the first week, so you have a roughly idea what topics we will cover in the first week. And again, if you're starting from the zero, I recommend attending everything. But if you already know some topics, you might want to choose what you are most interested in. And so our expectation is for you to be like self-directed and choose how much time you are makes sense for you to dedicate to this. And this is just talking about, now we are just talking about a learning side of things, but you can also give back. So when we are a community which is creating this program. We are building it together. It's not just me and Josh organizing this, but everyone here can participate and contribute either by discussions in the office hours, participating in Discord, answering other people's questions. If you see somebody asking something basic, go ahead and answer the question. You don't have to wait for us to answer or anyone else if you know the answer, or you can discuss. Maybe sometimes we don't even know the answers, right? There are some tricky questions out there. So generally, like, consider it as a community where you learn something and then you give back by discussing. But most importantly, we have the EPF Wiki. So the EPF.wiki, the protocol studies repository, is a community-run repository, community-run wiki, where we are documenting all the Ethereum protocol. But again, it's not me or Josh who are writing this wiki, but it's the community. There are dozens of contributors. There are people from the previous study group who have been building this, and I invite you to also contribute. So basically, after you spend some of the first week or two studying the basics, you can contribute back to the wiki. So there is generally almost all of the core protocol, core development domains covered. It's all of the consensus layer, execution layer, research topics. You can find it all there. When you open the epf.wiki website, you can see the first part that is the study group, what we are, the curriculum that we prepared for you. And the other part is the wiki itself. And as wiki tradition goes, this is really just open and community maintained. So during your studies, even during the first week, when you are using the wiki to study and you see something missing, or you see a typo there, right? You can always open a PR and you can fix something. So it will be mostly me and the people from the previous study group approving these PRs. It might take some day or something to get a review, but you can always contribute back. So this is also sort of an exercise for you guys. Another part of the study group is learning technical writing and learning using Git and collaboration on. This is non-software project, but it's still a technical project. It's a technical documentation that we are maintaining, and it's a big piece of documentation because the protocol is big, and I still believe it needs a lot of work. We create this groundwork last year, but there is still a lot of stuff to do. So if you open it now, you see some gaps there. Feel free to fill them. And again, we will be doing these daily sessions where you can watch the video from last year. You can follow some of the materials suggested by the speaker, but then you can also find this topic in the EPF wiki. So check what the wiki says about it, and if you see something from the materials or something else that you found during your research missing there, feel free to add it. So it's all community built, community maintained. Some of you guys might later become maintainers if you're the most active people who want to continuously contribute will become maintainers there. There are people currently maintaining and contributing to the wiki from the year ago when the first study group started. So I would like to get more people to have a more robust community doing this and be the best technically oriented collection of resources we have. Yeah. So that's about the wiki and being the study material. And about some more resources you can use. So again, here is where you find the EPF wiki. This is the front-facing website, the front end where you can read it. But if you want to see the source, it's the protocol studies repository. You can find it there. In the same GitHub organization, you find all of the previous EPF cohorts. So the protocol fellowship, the program that Josh mentioned, where people actually become the core developers, where they start working on some core projects, you can see all of their work and all of their progress completely publicly. So all of the previous cohorts, we did 4 of them, 5 of them. The 3 of them we were coordinating with Josh, and then there were 2 previous ones, so 5 of them already. Yeah. You can find every participant from in this cohort publishing their progress. You can see what they learn, how they think. So if you find some project that they've been working on, you find it interesting, you find it that it fits into your research, you can find all the materials that they've been using. It's all documented there. So it's also like a great collection of resources, which is kind of scattered around all these participants, all these EPF fellows. But you can take it and add it to the wiki if you find something that's missing there, and so on. So the previous cohorts are full of great resources. It's divided into the projects and the fellows, so you can find a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, and now that's the ETH protocol follows GitHub organization, EPF wiki, and the EPF cohorts. Now about the discords, we are coordinating this on the EPS Discord, Ethereum Protocol Studies Discord. If it's you have the QR code here if you want to join. If you're not there and you somehow found this link without joining the Discord, all of these office hours and the daily sessions will be discussed, will be held at this Discord server. So it's best to join to be able to follow everything there live. It's the place where we coordinate this. If you want to use free software client to join Discord, there is Decent. You can find it in FloodHub or on GitHub. You don't need to use the proprietary frontend either. So the Discord is the way how we coordinate this, and that's our Discord focused on this specific program. You find there the study group channel where we will discuss the daily topics, and then other channels dedicated to specific topics. So if you're discussing, doing research, learning about some specific topic, about, I don't know, execution layer testing, or some specific topics, you can post it in that channel, and hopefully someone will answer. So we have the topics divided there, and we also have a channel for the wiki contributors, wiki writers channel for people who are working on the wiki, who are contributing there. Yeah, finally, the R&D Discord server is a great place to be for anybody learning about the core protocol or following the current core development. So the R&D Discord, if you're not familiar with it, is sort of a coordination place for all the core developers from across all the client teams, where they announce the all core devs calls. You can follow those there, but also you can see discussions again divided into various topics about the current development, about the current state of issues in various domains for the core protocol. So the R&D Discord is a great place to be, especially if you want to catch up on the current stuff or just see how these core developers publicly discuss the current work. So yeah, these are a bunch of places to be, a bunch of great resources. Just to remind you, if you haven't filled the study group survey, please do so on this QR code. It's just a quick form to learn about your existing knowledge, about your preferences, so we can tailor the experience better, and we get some statistics about what kind of people are interested in learning about Ethereum core. So we have so we can we basically get some input, some feedback, and we know what to focus on. Yeah. It's also, you can find the survey also in the wiki if you haven't submitted yet. And I think that's it for the presentation. And now it's your time to ask any questions. If you are not sure about something about the program, if you want to know something about how the program will work, anything, anything goes. So feel free to raise your hand and ask. Yeah. If there was anything unclear, or if you're curious about the schedule, the structure, topics. Yeah, we have Oscar Vorch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering, as part of the program, there would be like exercises or projects to implement ourselves, like protocol related stuff, or if it's mostly videos or articles to read?
So majority is the videos and articles, but there are some exercises. So if you check the existing curriculum, some of them include like suggested exercises that you can do. So for example, there is a talk on testing, and as an exercise, you can go to the repo, you can create your own tests, you can run the specs and so on. So there are some exercises like this, and for the later part, for a deep dive into execution and consensus, there might be there might be more exercises like this, but it's mostly just like you can try this out. You can. It's not like project to build, more just like to get familiar with the project, with the repository, or with the tool. And we will also do a workshop on running nodes next week or during the first week. For the people who never used Ethereum client, you can spin up a node and start from the basics to see how it works, how you actually operate it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome. Yakshit has a question.
Hello. So, as someone who's not from the computer science background, I would like to know what pre-requirements do we like? What do we need to learn about computer science that we would need in this course?
Yeah, so like generally there the blockchain topics refer to a bunch of existing concepts like hashes, Merkle trees, some like high level cryptographic knowledge. Let me send if you in the EPF wiki, I was sharing the link here. Here are some resources for I I'm not sure if I sent the link. Did it send? Okay, it's
I
weird.
was struggling to send links as well. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, there is some problem with sending links. Let me send it to Discord. So in the current thread, I opened the thread for these protocol studies. So I send the resources there. You can find it on the wiki. That's one start, and also like at the beginning of in the every topic that we will cover, you will see, yeah, and let me see here, pre-reading. This is another thing you can read. So here the pre-reading or things, some basics that you should know. Um, from the week zero from the last year, and then with every daily session, there is some pre-reading suggested. So then before each session, before you watch the video, you see what topics you should be familiar with, what other videos you can watch, or what other articles, just to give you some basic intro. For individual topics. So it's always scheduled like pre-reading, what you should know before, then structure of the actual lecture, and then some extra materials or exercises that come after. So that's the structure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, welcome. Tom has a question.
It's just asking like, is this program like would be like for example, it could be like their good starter for someone who would like to contribute to their like the Ethereum execution layer, or is covered to the consensus layer, or it's just the program that make you like get to know more about Ethereum.
Right. So generally, this program will get you know more. That's the idea, but it will get you on the path to start contributing. We are not here to teach you the development hands-on directly. Start contributing. That's more the protocol fellowship, where people actually start contributing, working on some projects within the both execution consensus layer or roadmap research stuff, or testing or so on. But the study group will help you to prepare for contributing. It's really then up to you to go the extra step or participate in the fellowship to be able to contribute. But this is like a preparation for contributing in the every part of Ethereum consensus execution, or some unfinished prototyping that's happening right now. Yeah. So. Yeah, hope that answers the question. I got it right. Okay, Vineet.
Hi, thanks. So I just wanted to understand, as you mentioned, the fellowship, right? So how fellowship works and what's the criteria to qualify for the fellowship once the study group completes?
Yeah. The fellowship is something independent from the study group. It's partially connected because this study group will help people who want to work on the fellowship, but it's not necessary to participate in it. The fellowship generally starts around June and runs for 5 months till November. So it's a 5-month program, much longer than this, and it's focused on the actual development. The first month of the fellowship is dedicated to choosing a project. There are some projects suggested by the client teams and some projects that you can come up with. It's really up to you. It's fully permissionless and open, so anybody can come and identify a project to work on and use the next 4 months or the rest of the program to basically execute the project. Um, so the program is for people who are developers, want to be developers, or just are ready to do some real contribution in the matter of the couple of months. It's a commitment to work on this project and create some real valuable contribution. And it's completely open and permissionless. So you can see the repositories that I mentioned from the past years, and some of those people they just show up in the repo and open a PR to add their contributions, to add their progress. And some of those people receive a stipend. To qualify for the stipend, we choose a couple of people who are most active, who actually work on the projects that are most valuable or are creating some real contributions. So the best couple of people receive a stipend, and we choose them based on their skills, based on their pre-existing knowledge, and some of them during the fellowship itself, based on the work that they do. So yeah, that's the program. And again, you can learn about it. You can see everything from the previous cohorts in the same in the Protocol Fellows organization GitHub. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Sure. Welcome. Jimmy.
Hi. I wonder for the second part of the study group for the 6 week, how do we choose the topics we work on, or is there any recommended or suggested topics we pick from? And can we team up, or is there a mentor that we will?
Yeah. We are still preparing the schedule. We are still confirming the speakers and the schedule, but we will have like prepared schedule for those 6 weeks. You will have there will be 2 weeks, 2 calls in a week, one focused on the execution layer, one focused on consensus. To be precise, for example, in the first week, there will be EVM and the Gasper. The second week will be peer-to-peer, the networking of execution layer, the lib peer-to-peer, dev peer-to-peer, on the consensus, the lib peer-to-peer, and so on and so on. So we will have always these pairs of talks, two a week. You can choose to follow one of the talks or both, none, right? And you can participate any way you want, but we will have this schedule predetermined. It's not published in the wiki yet. When you open the wiki and you click on Start Here, you will see the schedule for the next week. Then we will add the schedule for the week after, and then we will add the schedule for the next 6 weeks, because it goes all the way till April, and we still need to confirm the speakers for the rest of the content. Yeah. So when we are sure we have it all scheduled, we will publish it. Yeah.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah. Gerald?
Yeah, hi. I was wondering, like, this will be a development session or a particular text to mention sections.
I'm not sure if I understand what sessions. Can you repeat that?
Like, this will be only a development focused sessions or more like a text contest based sessions.
It's focused generally on the client development, but also testing and research. Mainly the client architecture. So you will learn how each of the domains of the Ethereum protocol works. As I mentioned before, we will, for example, 1 week explains how the EVM works, how the Gasper protocol on the consensus works, then how the networking stacks works, how the data structures work. So you will learn examples from different clients, about how this part of the protocol works, which is like generally specified, works the same way, just implemented in a different ways in different clients. So you will see different examples of this and the specification. It's more oriented on development, but it's not a development course. It's more for the existing developers or people who have some understanding of the programming language to learn how this thing is specifically programmed, how it's implemented, or how it's actually specified in the Ethereum, right? We are not talking just about code examples, but also the specifications. Specifications are in Python, but it's also just the actual explanation how the protocol works. So even if you don't want to be a developer, if you don't know Rust or some language, you can still follow and learn how the specification works. So you have like technical understanding of the protocol. Yeah. Yeah. Hope that
Thank you so
answers
much.
it. Yeah.
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 Thank you.
Sure. Thanks. Perfect. Yeah. Any other questions? We got 75 people here. It's awesome. Yeah, Nathaniel?
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for this great opportunity. My question is, can you please reiterate what is it for us? Maybe what's the take home after the bootcamp? Because I know after the training, what is it for us? How do we practically implement the things that we're learning? Is it just within the space of open source contribution, or there's something we should know? I know when we get there, more enlightenment will be given to us, but I just want to know.
So how you use the knowledge after the program? That's the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So again, it's up to you what the goal is. It's really up to you how you see your goal. Whether you just want to educate yourself, you want to understand something, and you can become an educator afterwards, right? You can use the skills to contribute to some part of the Ethereum that you're interested in. And again, it's vast. There are like 20 different teams working on Ethereum. There are the client teams on the execution and consensus. There are different research teams. There is testing, there's DevOps. There are different layer 2 teams and forks of Ethereum, which are copying the same stack we are going to be talking about, right? Because it's all open. They just take the same technology. So you can apply this knowledge across all the EVM ecosystem, across all of the Ethereum-related projects. You can spread this knowledge, and specifically speaking, we are going to be starting the EPF somewhat shortly after the study group. So this will get you on a good track to start also the EPF fellowship. But if you're confident in your skills, if you learn a lot during the study group, you can just go ahead and start contributing right ahead. Like again, we have the wiki, which is one place to contribute to help us to build the documentation. So even if you're like without any development skills, just with the technical writing, you can help us a lot. You can help to contribute to documentation like EPF wiki or Ethereum.org is also a public repository you can contribute to with some developer documentation. And then if you feel confident enough, you can start with some tasks on the clients themselves. But this is what we help you with in the fellowship. If you feel like making a commitment to work on a project for a couple of months, you can continue doing the fellowship. And what I would add is that there are people from last year, like I don't know, a couple of people, 3 or 4 at least, who started this study group basically from zero. Like they didn't have very deep insight into Ethereum. They started following since the first week, and they finished the fellowship in November and get hired or wanted to be hired in the client teams. So in less than 1 year, they became core developers. We will have maybe some testimonials later, but I think like 4 or 5 people. Yeah, I can I can think of four right away, who did the project in the EPF. So they did some meaningful contribution in 4 months, and some of them have been so great that they just get hired right away. Some of them didn't want to be hired or continue to work on some projects. So there are many stories like that, but it's really up to you and your own dedication, your own skills, what you are willing to do. We give you this opportunity to learn and this platform for you to participate in. But yeah, it's up to you how you use it. Yeah. Okay, Tom has a question.
Yeah, I just have another question. So, does the content will cover the Mekong, like the Mekong Fox? Because like currently the Mekong Fox, if I remember currently, like is covered until to the native account abstraction in Ethereum or something like that. So basically, like how with like, so you can tell me in the EIP versions, like which EIP that this will cover, for example.
So yeah, the sessions will be focused on parts of the protocol, which include some EIPs, and the relevant EIPs will be mentioned in the resources. So again, if you check the existing materials, you can see that when we talk about, I don't know, networking stack, we mention like the relevant network related EIPs, right? And then there will be talks on research and roadmap, where and Pectra current upgrades, right? Where we talk about specific EIPs which are being implemented right now. But generally, when we talk about protocol or the specification, we refer to the existing specification rather than the individual EIPs. The problem is that EIPs are kind of scattered all over the place. They're like they don't give you the whole picture. So we refer more to the specification or some documentation of the protocol. Yeah, hope that makes sense.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Luis has a question.
Yeah, on fellowship, must I work only in the project that already exists, or could I create a new project to work on?
Yeah, you can absolutely come up with your own project. So these are all projects which need to be somehow related to the core protocol. So it's the clients themselves, or the testing, or the tooling around it, right? And again, we have suggestions from the client teams where they directly tell you this is something that we need help with in the coming months. This is something that you can work on. But if you learn about the protocol, if you identify some gaps by yourself, that's something that you are interested in, you can just suggest the project yourself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. In the previous fellowships, you can see that in the repositories, you can see the project ideas in the projects directory in each of the previous cohorts. You can check the cohort -5. The project directory has the project's ideas MD file, where you can see what was proposed by the mentors, and then you can compare it to all of the other projects. You see some of them got implemented, some of them did not, and some came completely from the fellows. I would say it's like 70-30 or so. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions? We still have time to answer anything about the study group and the core protocol and the fellowship, the schedule. Feel free to ask. I would maybe just add that also someone is speaking. Yeah.
About the study group, when will you share a schedule, like with the classes? I don't know.
So you can see the schedule for the next week up. Let me share it. Oh wait, doesn't share the link again. If you just click on EPF Wiki Start here and Program Structure Schedule, you can see it here. The week 1 is there scheduled daily. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say actually. So starting on Monday, we are starting the study group. In the schedule, you can see the day February 17. We are going to do intro to the Ethereum protocol. It's a presentation from me. When you click on it, you see it's called week 1 from the previous. You see the pre-reading there, the prehistory of Ethereum protocol design, like all of these topics, and that continues with each day basically. So the second day we will talk about the consensus layer. third day about the execution layer. And the same day, we will have the workshop on actually running the consensus and execution client. So from the theoretical part, we will get to the practical. You will actually try it yourself. And then we finish the week with testing and security. For the second week, we will release the schedule soon. So you can see the schedule for the next week there. I hope you got it. Yeah. AJ? I think AJ has a question. And if you're speaking, you're muted. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? I hope everything is clear. Again,
If you
this
do
is
have
completely
questions that come up after this town hall, you can feel free to drop them in the Discord and we'll get to them.
Yes. Yeah. Well. Yeah. We have the study group channel in the Discord. We'll always open the daily threads there to discuss that daily topic. So feel free to drop any questions there. So now the next steps, or the plan is that on Monday we will open the thread for that day, where we share the resources for the first day. You can take your time to watch the video, to study the existing resources, to read the documentation, and then we will hold at 3 p.m. UTC. We will have the town hall, the office hours, where we will be available for you in the Discord chat, the voice chat, to come to talk to us, to ask any questions that you are unsure about the daily topic, about the introduction to the protocol. Yeah. On the Monday, the first day will be like a map of the protocol and the history of it, like a general idea, just to get you started, just to give you a context. And then the second day we'll dive into how the consensus actually works, also with some introduction into like how the blockchains work. And the third day will be more technical into how the execution actually works from the like some specification perspective. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I guess I'll see you on Monday if there are no more questions. If we are finished here. Oh yeah, Nathaniel?
Okay, so sorry for taking you back again. I just want a little clarity. So this training that we'll be having, I think if I heard you clearly, you said it's a preparation that we can have maybe for the Ethereum Protocol Fellowship. You spoke about the program itself, that this is not the main program. There's the EPF program itself. So this is just like a pre-training, if I get you correct.
Well, sort of. It's sort of a pre-training, but I wouldn't like dishonor it by saying it's not a main program or so. Like the for the depends on again what your goal is. For the people who are really feeling about becoming the core developers, the main part will be the EPF. But this is as important as the EPF, like to learn to be able to do it. For people who just want to learn and like increase their knowledge, increase their skills, and write documentation and so on. It's still a very important program, but generally, yeah, the assumption you have is correct. This is the training, and then the executive part comes in the EPF. But again, it doesn't mean that you need to do one or the other. It's not directly. It's somewhat connected. You can do both. I mentioned examples of people who started with the study group and ended with the EPF, became core developers, became active contributors now. But it doesn't mean that you need to do all of it. It's really up to you whether you want to take this whole journey or you just want to maybe in this study group you can just see what's up. You can just see what we are even dealing with to understand whether this is something for you, whether you are able to do this, right? So so this is sort of like university, and then the fellowship is more like apprenticeship. Yeah, used to be called like that, but we're not talking about that. Yeah, yeah. Hope it's clear. Hope it's clear now. And anything else? Yeah. Yeah, Kelvin.
Hi, everyone. So my question has to do with a few points you mentioned. You did talk about being a CS graduate and also being a developer. So I just wanted to ask, do you be a CS graduate to go ahead with this study group? And if you are a developer, do you have to attain some level of experience, something like that?
Right. So for this protocol study group, there is like the CS knowledge is a great addition. It's a great help. Definitely help you to study faster. But it's not the hard requirement. Even if you are starting with like only general knowledge without strong background, you can still catch up. You can still study the materials, and you can still learn a lot. Um, I'm a CS dropout. I'm a CS graduate, and I managed to learn about Ethereum a lot just because I have this interest. I have this mindset. I'm able to learn about it. I'm able to study what I need to understand in order to understand Ethereum, right? So that's the goal here. Like we want to provide the materials for everybody, not just the CS people, not just the developers. But again, if you are a developer, if you are some computer science graduate, you will have easier time diving into this because you are familiar with many existing terms. But it's still necessary because Ethereum is very specific. We have many of our own terminology, our own protocols. So there is still a lot to learn, and no matter where we come from. And yeah, and then again, like it depends what your goal is. Like if you have some developer skills, or if you want to become a developer, this is a great way to start. Like generally, I believe that like to learn development in general, free and open source software is a great place to be because instead of like some made up exercises in the university, you actually contribute to some meaningful things and exercise your skills like this. So and you learn from the best. You learn great practices from people who've been developing Ethereum itself, right? So again, like to even to like work on your skills, to start whether from it's zero or from some pre-existing knowledge. Like we are here for everyone. Yeah. Yeah. D10. Yeah. Do you have a question? Okay. Emmanuel?
Okay, can you hear me? All right.
Yes,
Okay,
go ahead.
good everybody. Thank you for the presentation. So my question would be, I'd love to know if there would be like hands-on exercises after like a session in the boot camp.
Yeah, so some of the sessions include exercises. Some of those, where it makes sense, there are exercises suggested from the mentors, but not all of them. So we will try to, especially with the new sessions, we will try to push for some exercises, but generally, it's not really a skill that we are practicing. It's more of a knowledge where you try to understand how this protocol works, or how this specific function works. And then what you can do is like go and try to change something and recompile it or so, right? So it's more there is not like specific exercises that we can give in many of these sessions. It's, some of them included, as I mentioned, like testing or the workshop on nodes, but a bunch of them are just more about learning. And then like what I would suggest, or in some of the sessions you will find the suggestions, like go to the good first issues tag, and you can see what are the good first issues in this project, in this repository. You get familiar with it, you feel that you understand enough to try something, so you can try implement some good first issue, yeah, or just to do some change. And yeah, there will be some exercises, but it's not mainly exercise oriented. Yeah, again, it's up to you how much you want to study and what way of studying you prefer. You can really do it yourself. Yeah. Joshi.
Hello. Thank you for hosting this whole program and this call. A couple people asked about exercises, and I wanted to share that I'm also a very exercise-oriented learner. And so as I go along studying and learning with you guys, I will like helplessly be trying to think of exercises that I'd like to do. And, I think anyone can do that, and we can, share any good ones that we come up with. So I wanted to just say, don't just sit and wait for the teachers or whatever to come up with them. Feel free to dive in on your own too. And I'd love to work with anyone who likes to do exercises too, because I also like to do exercises.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for that. That's amazing. Exactly what I mentioned. Like, we are a community. We work together. We learn together. So if you have any questions, any struggles, if you come up with exercises, please share all of this. Help each other to learn. And yeah, let's collaborate on this. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, Emmanuel. Yeah.
Hey, just as can you hear me? Yeah. So as Joshi said, I'd love to connect with Joshi because I'm a very exercise oriented kind of learner. So I'd love to connect with Joshi.
Yeah, totally. So in the Discord, please, like, feel free to send the GM there in the GM channel, introduce yourself, and then during the each day we will open the thread dedicated to the topic, and share your exercises there, share your questions, your knowledge there, or join us in the voice channel if you want to discuss something. Then like feel free to connect with people in the Discord channel. Like this is the easiest way.
If this becomes something that becomes pretty popular, we would likely just also create a channel directly for like exercise creation, probably, where you guys can collaborate in doing that.
Yeah, again, like this is all, we are all friends. It's all open community. We can do suggestions in the Discord. We have server suggestions channel. If you have suggestion for a new channel, like for exercises or something else, you can feel free to send a suggestion there. Yeah. If we do any we miss anything, yeah. Mannerisms. You're waiting with the question.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask. You mentioned that after the study group, people went to the fellowship, and I feel like you mentioned around 5 people made it to like stipend position. But what do you think was the largest or the hardest obstacle that the participants experienced throughout the program, which hindered them to finish the program? Like, what was the largest or biggest obstacle in your experience?
Yeah, so this is a question on them, right? I wasn't a participant. I'm organizing it, so it's like their subjective perspective. What I can suggest you, so yeah, 2 things. First, like if I'm supposed to answer the question, I would say it's the dedication. Just keeping the motivation, keeping keeping going, right? Whether it's a study group, just being able to continue, go on, learn more, and show up for every meeting. And then also the EPF, like doing the commitment and really executing on it, really just have the dedication, have the motivation to stay around. Many people just drop out because they lose interest, or I mean, they're busy with other things, they get sick, like there are a ton of reasons, of course. But like generally, I don't believe that there is like a technical problem. Like if you have some issue you need help with, there are people here as the mentors to get you through it. So it's really up to you to be able to dedicate the time and have the motivation to go through it. But what I would suggest you is to ask them that directly. We just tagged a couple of people in Discord from the active people from the previous study group from the cohort 5. We tagged like 5 people there. You can ask them directly. Also, they will be available on some of these calls throughout the study group. And also you can find, we could share that, but you can find it in the DEF CON archive in the EPF day. You find presentations. Oh, we forgot about that actually as a part of resources. You can find presentations of everyone who participated in the cohort, and we also have a panel with some previous participants, with some previous fellows, where we talk about not technical things, but more of their experience as the fellow, and also finish what to do after the fellowship, what I do afterwards. You can check out the panel. I think maybe Josh will share it, or we'll find a link and share it here. It's at the DEF CON archive, yeah. And I think I lost Josh here.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're welcome.
There.
Oh, okay, you're here. Okay. Oh, no worries. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you haven't been around during the merge, you might not remember, but Portal WTF is this website where we track when the merge is supposed to happen. Yeah. It's an old hackerspace that I used the domain when we were doing it during the merge. Yeah. That's part of the introduction on Monday, Ethereum history. I don't talk about hard forks much, but yeah.
I think we're already a few minutes over here,
Yep.
so we can wrap it up. Thanks for being here, everybody. If you have further questions that you think of throughout the day or week or whatever before we get started on Monday, please go ahead and put them in the Discord server. Looking forward to having a great study group year with you all, and we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, we will see you on Monday, and hopefully a couple of weeks afterwards as well. Please make sure to dedicate some time for the next week. Hope you will have the spare time, a couple of hours a day to focus on this during next week. And we'll see you soon. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.